The year 1945 marked a turning point in human history. World War II, a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality, was reaching its climax. The Axis powers, led by Germany, Italy and Japan, were on the verge of defeat. Years of relentless fighting had ravaged Europe and the Pacific, leaving a trail of unimaginable destruction and millions dead. The United States, after entering the war following the attack on Pearl Harbor, had become a formidable force, joining the Allied powers in their fight against tyranny. By the summer of 1945, Germany had surrendered, but Japan, under the Emperor Hirohito, remained defiant. Japanese forces continued to fight fiercely, fueled by a potent mix of nationalism and militarism. The Allied forces faced the daunting prospect of a costly invasion of the Japanese mainland, an operation projected to result in millions of casualties on both sides. It was against this backdrop of impending bloodshed that a new weapon, born from the fires of scientific innovation, emerged, forever altering the course of history. The Manhattan Project, a code name cloaking its true nature, began modestly in 1939. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, spurred by Albert Einstein's warning about Germany's nuclear ambitions, authorized funding for research into uranium fission. This process, splitting the atom, held the potential for colossal energy release, a power previously unseen in human history. Little did the world know this marked the beginning of the atomic age, a new era defined by both promise and peril. Driven by the urgency of war, the project rapidly expanded, becoming a massive scientific undertaking unparalleled in human history. Thousands of scientists, engineers and technicians were recruited, working tirelessly in secret facilities across the country. Oak Ridge, Tennessee became a hub for uranium enrichment, while Hanford, Washington produced plutonium, another key ingredient in atomic bombs. Los Alamos, New Mexico served as the project's main research and design center, where scientists grappled with the complexities of weaponizing the atom. The ethical implications of creating such a destructive force weighed heavily on the minds of many involved. Could they justify unleashing a weapon with the capacity to annihilate entire cities? The debate raged within the project, scientists torn between their moral obligations and their patriotic duty. Some argued that a demonstration of the bomb's power would suffice to force Japan's surrender, while others believed that its use was inevitable to end the war swiftly and save lives. In the end, the decision to use the atomic bomb rested with President Harry S. Truman, who had assumed office after Roosevelt's death in April 1945. Faced with the grim casualty estimates of a conventional invasion of Japan, Truman ultimately authorized the use of the atomic bomb, hoping to bring a swift end to the Pacific War and spare the lives of countless American soldiers. It was a decision with far-reaching consequences, one that would shape the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. The aftermath of the atomic bombings was, well, nothing short of catastrophic. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were left in ruins, and the human toll was staggering. Survivors known as hibakusha faced not only the immediate effects of radiation, but also long-term health issues and social stigma. In the years following, the world grappled with the ethical implications of using nuclear weapons. Debates raged over whether the bombings were necessary to end the war or if they represented a grave injustice. These discussions continue to shape our understanding of warfare and humanity's responsibility in wielding such devastating power. The bombings also triggered an arms race during the Cold War, leading to the development of even more powerful nuclear arsenals. This period of intense rivalry and mutual suspicion had a profound impact on international relations and global security policies. Today, the legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serves as a sobering reminder of the destructive potential of nuclear weapons. It underscores the importance of disarmament efforts and the need for continued dialogue to prevent future nuclear conflicts. The stories of the hibakusha and the lessons learned from this dark chapter in history remain crucial in our pursuit of a more peaceful world. The immediate aftermath of the bombings was catastrophic. Tens of thousands perished instantly, and many more suffered from severe injuries and radiation sickness. In the long term, the survivors, known as hibakusha, faced chronic health issues and social stigma. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were left in ruins, requiring decades of rebuilding and recovery. The bombings led to Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15, 1945, marking the end of World War II. However, the use of atomic weapons also signaled the beginning of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union entered an arms race, each striving to amass a larger and more powerful nuclear arsenal, casting a long shadow over international relations for decades. The decision to use atomic bombs has been the subject of intense debate. Some argue it was necessary to end the war swiftly and save lives that would have been lost in a prolonged conflict. Others contend that it was an unjustifiable act of mass destruction, targeting civilians and setting a dangerous precedent for future warfare. This ethical dilemma continues to provoke reflection and discussion. In today's world, the legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serves as a stark reminder of the devastating power of nuclear weapons. Efforts towards disarmament and non-proliferation are ongoing, but the threat of nuclear conflict remains. It is a global responsibility to ensure that such weapons are never used again, fostering a safer and more peaceful future for all.